Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to be learning how to navigate our training workbook. I'm on our level 1 table of contents. Up here at the top, you'll see that we have our module 1, which is KPIs and bar charts. Underneath that, we will always include the learning objectives. Beneath that is our table of contents. A couple things I want to point out about this. There's a flow to this, so we want you to do step 1, then 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Now within each one of these steps, you'll notice that there's a show, a tell, and a do. So the show part of each one of these concepts is going to be a video that we've created where in the video we're walking through how to create, in this case it's a bar chart. With this bar design, we're talking about design elements, and we have a video of someone walking through those steps. The tell portion is we have the completed product, so in this case it's a finished bar chart or a designed and upgraded bar chart. And then we have the list of the actual steps that were done to create that bar chart. And then the third and last step for each one of these is going to be the do. And the do just takes us to a blank page with those exact same steps laid out. And now it's your chance to go and create the same bar chart that we've been looking at. So that's kind of the progression of these. And there's two ways you can navigate those. So one of those ways is I can click on these buttons to navigate in Tableau. The only caveat to that is I can't just click the button. Notice if I click this Show Bar Charts button, it's going to highlight it because Tableau doesn't actually know that I want the button to work yet because I'm in the design mode or the design space. If I want this button to operate as a button, what I have to do is hold Alt on my keyboard and then click the button. And then what that's going to do is that's going to take me to that Show Bar Charts sheet. Notice I have my table of contents button up here. I can go right to the tell or the do. Let's hit Alt on my keyboard, and I'm going to click the table of contents. Notice that's going to bring me back here. I only have to hold Alt and click on buttons when I'm actually in Tableau Desktop in the design mode. So if you're thinking to yourself, that's not super intuitive, it's not, but it only happens when I'm in design mode. So there's the show. If I wanted to go look at the tell, again, I can click Alt on my keyboard and then click on the tell bar charts button. Again, here's our finished product. Here are the steps that we use to create it. I'm going to hold Alt and then click on do for the bar charts. And then this is going to take us to our blank page for the do. Notice over here, these are the steps that we ask you to do to create the exact same bar chart we just saw in the tell. Now you notice with the do sheet, there's no other buttons for me to navigate anywhere else. This leads me to the second way that we can navigate around in this dashboard, and that's by clicking on the individual tabs down here. So notice I'm on this do create bar chart. If I wanted to go back to my table of contents, I can just click on the table of contents. If I wanted to go see show design bar, so instead of clicking this button right here, I can also just click on the actual tab itself. I can do the same thing with the tell for the design. Notice on the design part of this, we've given you what it used to look like, and then we show you how the design elements have upgraded it. And then for this one, when we click the do for the bar design, so I'm holding Alt on my keyboard and then clicking that button, it's going to take me to that same do worksheet that has the instructions for creating basic bar chart. Over here in my caption, if I scroll, you notice at the bottom of this, I have an update design elements portion of the instructions. So the way we have this designed is that I'm going to see a video of how to create a bar chart. I'm going to read the actual directions or instructions of how to create that bar chart, and I'm going to go and do it myself. Once I've done that, I'm going to watch a video on how to incorporate some design elements. I'm going to look at a list of steps that show me exactly what those design elements are. And then I'm going to go back to the original bar chart that I created and update that one with those design elements. So that's kind of the process that we're going to have for each one of these kind of subcategories here in our table of contents. And then I'm going to repeat that for each one of them. So once I finish that for my bar charts, I'm going to do the same thing for my grouped bar charts, stacked bar charts, and then finally our key performance indicators. So once I've watched the videos, I've listed or looked at the steps, and I've created my bar charts. Now at this point, I'm thinking to myself, what do I do if I need to pass, or how do I show that I've done this module? So if we scroll down, we're going to look at this section called passing the module. In order to pass this module, you have to create some sort of output. In this case, we've asked you to create a dashboard of essentially the 3 or 4 different outputs that you just created up here in our table of contents. That would be our total of sales by segment bar charts, total sales by segment and category, and then total sales by subcategory. Those are going to be the 3 kind of outputs that we want you to put into one single dashboard. Now, again, you might be thinking, I don't know how to make a dashboard. We know that. And so we have created a video here that we get to watch that shows you how to make kind of a simple dashboard that combines all of those elements for us. So we understand that some of you are probably coming into this pretty new. You might not know how to make a dashboard, and that's okay. We've given you some resources so that we show you, hey, here's how I make a dashboard. Here's how we incorporate all those elements into one sheet. And then once you've seen how to make a dashboard and you feel comfortable, that's when we move on to step 9 here, where you're actually going to create your own dashboard. We've included this dashboard feedback rubric because this is how you will be graded on your dashboard. So once you create the dashboard, you'll eventually have to show it to someone. What that person's going to do when they evaluate this or assess it is they're going to go through this checklist, and they're looking to make sure that the dashboard includes that KPI, a bar chart, a stacked bar chart, grouped bar charts. They're going to be looking to make sure that your titles inform your end users. They're going to be looking at colors and quick filters. We put this here so that you know exactly what we are looking for in your finished product. This is part of us beginning with the end in mind. As I'm designing my dashboard, I want to think about what all does it have to incorporate. Step 10 and 11, our last 2 steps here. Step 10 is for us to publish and save our workbook. We're going to save it to our Sandbox Tableau server folder. This would be kind of our staging ground for all of our training materials. And then once we have it published and saved there, step 11 is you will share it with whoever your reviewer or evaluator is. There will be more information coming out in the emails as we send out some additional resources of how to access Tableau server. And that'll also come with who we need to contact when we are done with these modules. So at this point, we have navigated our training module. We know how to get around the actual Tableau space by clicking on the tabs down here or using Alt on the keyboard and then clicking on the buttons. We understand kind of the flow of how I get to use my table of contents, how that leads me to creating an actual output. In this case, it's a dashboard. And then once we've created that dashboard, we will then publish it and share it with the appropriate people so that we can get sign off on this module. Thanks for watching.